So, I'm both a Marvel and a DC fan. They both hold a very special place in my heart. So, it really does hurt my soul when one team just can't seem to catch a break, and that's usually DC, and they just get the worst of it. It's so sad. But today is a good day because it's really rewarding for DC to have an undeniable win after so many losses. And even though the event hasn't happened yet, it's still a win because there's no way Marvel can put something like this together in time to beat DC to the punch, which they really like to do. They do it a lot. And there's also no way Comic-Con at home will be this cool. So it sucks for them, but again, DC, it's time they had a major win over everyone else. So yes, DC Fandom is a virtual event, but you do have to wonder if this is building up to a future where Warner Brothers launches a live physical DC convention like D23, what like the D23 convention they do every other year. But who knows, they could stay virtual, and that would be pretty cool as well. And since they don't have to physically set up a convention at with any cost, signing on to the DC virtual event is completely free, which is really amazing. And it's a global event. Both fans and talent from around the world are able to sign on for this virtual event. Again, it's amazing, and there's a language set for every different region, which is also really cool. But we still don't know if we can interact with other people during the event or not, so we'll still have to wait on that. So as you can see, when I pull it up, this is the home screen, or this will be the home screen for the DC Fandom virtual event. And it looks like, yeah, it's obvious that the designers have watched Inside Out, and if I was a Pixar executive this morning and saw this, I would be really upset. And this all of this is owed to Warner Brothers Games, and clearly there will be Warner Brothers Games announcements, which is really weird considering that a couple days ago the news came out that AT&T will be selling, or is in talks to sell, Warner Brothers Games for $4 billion to offset its $2 billion debt, which is insane when you think about how beloved Warner Brothers Games is, and how substantial amount of revenue Warner Brothers Games makes a year. And there's also a ton of franchises in Warner Brothers Games that are very important to Warner Brothers as a whole. So again, we'll have to see about that. So starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, August 2nd, or Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, anywhere on the face of the earth with a good internet connection will be able to enter this virtual convention for free. You can be able to visit spots in the convention like DCUverse, where they will highlight user-generated content, cosplay, and fan art, with some fan art chosen for a competition with a cash prize at stake. And the voters can help the judges decide by voting for different pieces of art throughout the 24-hour long event. But first, you will start out at the DC Hall of Heroes Island spot. This is where all the panels, special programming, and big reveals are located, and will all be available in multiple languages. So DC promises to highlight a ton of content here, but the biggest will most likely be Aquaman, Black Adam, and Shazam, and maybe a Henry Cavill cameo confirmation as Superman, more Snyder Cut information, the Suicide Squad movie information, Wonder Woman 1984 trailers, clips, and more information on that. A new CW Batwoman casting, because, Ruby Rose got fired a couple weeks ago. And a sneak peek at the new CW show, Superman and Lois. And beyond the DC Hall of Heroes is the DC Insiderverse, which spotlights DC's most prominent executives, which are Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, and Greg Berlanti. Insiderverse gives you a behind-the-scenes look at how all your favorite DC movies and shows are made. There are also DC Watchverse, which might just be reruns of panels at the Hall of Heroes that you might have missed. And there's also DC Funverse, which is the store with tons of merchandise, limited edition exclusives, DIY kits, and you could also read comics there. And lastly, but not least, there is DC Kids Verse, which is specially curated for younger audiences and younger attendees. So what do you think of all this news? Are you excited to go to DC Fandom? Are you even going to DC Fandom at all? Share your thoughts down below and don't forget to subscribe to Greyson Talks Everything.